I'm going to demonstrate the use of a ball against a hard surface to massage the tendons of the hand, the forearm, and to deal with the problems that develop in this part of our body, largely through our work as dentists, assistants, hygienists, but just through, of course, day-to-day living. So this is a very effective way to deal with these problems, to help to alleviate things and prevent the accumulation of problems, which can lead to disability in these areas. You'll see there's a variety of different balls here, and depending on your body and how much limitation you may already have, underlying conditions you may have, arthritic, fibromyalgia, etc., you may choose to use a ball that's not as firm. And we're going to start with it under the palm of the hand. I like to use a little bit of pressure from the other hand, and then we can work it down each finger. So you can maybe see, I'll just do it without my hand there so you can see where it's going here. I wouldn't find this terribly useful without the pressure, so I need the pressure from this hand. But you wouldn't be able to see it because his hand is covering. But you can see I'm going to the thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, baby finger, and then I'm going to get onto the wrist, and I'm going to travel up. Remember, these tendons that operate the fingers go way up the forearm. So if we're worried about our hand and our wrist, we really need to be thinking all the way up to the elbow. And you'll notice that when you do have problems, you're going to get a lot of referred pain up this way, and that's because these things are all very much linked together. The tendons, the muscles, and the nerves, of course. So we're massaging nervous tissue, of course, aren't we? Now, let's take the ball and put it on top of the hand, and you can see that we need to do this too. And we can go down the fingers. I like to go down the fingers, and even down the thumb. And then we get into the carpals, after the metacarpals and the carpals. And of course, you've heard of carpal through carpal tunnel syndrome. Let's look at the use of a large squishy ball. So you can do the same thing I was just doing, but with a much gentler and what might work better for you, depending on what pre-existing conditions you may have. And this is easy to do, and I highly recommend it. While you're here and while you've done that, why don't you just do a little bit of this too? A little bit of the whole hand. You can rest the forearm here, you can bring it back like this. Very, very good for you to do. And of course, what you saw me do with the right hand, obviously you're going to want to, should be obvious, I hope, that you're going to want to do this for the other hand too. I have in front of me a series of balls that one can use against a wall to massage the back of the neck, the trapezius areas, to find trigger points, pressure points, and to get some relief in these areas that become extremely tight and tense through our work and day-to-day living. I've arranged them in decreasing size, but also in increasing stiffness. You're going to want to select a ball that works for you and for your body. If you have no underlying issues, for example, say something like fibromyalgia, you may want to use a very stiff ball. That's what I would use. You may choose to use a very soft, squishy ball. I'll show you the difference. Here is the first one, and you can see how compressible that ball is and how soft it is. The next ball is also somewhat compressible, you can see, but stiffer. This is a so-called spiky ball, which is compressible, but obviously it has these stiff spikes and is very useful, I find. There's a larger version of the spiky ball right here that you can also use against the wall. This is a tennis ball, quite stiff, but a little bit compressible. This is a lacrosse ball, very firm, hardly at all compressible. And if you have very, very stiff knots, myofascial, fascial knots, you may want to use that. These balls are all available at the dollar store, sporting goods stores, yoga supply stores. So let's have a look at how we use these against the wall. I'm going to use this larger version of a spiky ball to demonstrate the use of a ball against the hard surface of the wall to massage the back, the neck, and to alleviate problems with built-up myofascial knots, pressure points, trigger points. So what you want to have is a little bend in the knee, and you want to place the ball. I like to start against the trapezius here, and then you put a little pressure, lean back against the wall. You can hear it. You can hear this thing work. It's quite squeaky, and it's working quite well for me. I can roll over here. I can get into the sternocleidomastoid a bit. I can come up onto my neck. You can move it further down the back. And it works wonderfully well for relieving built-up pressure in these muscles and in the fascia. We can also use the ball to massage the greater big muscles in the pectoralis region and up into the area around the clavicle and get right into the shoulder joint a little bit too. You need a wall where you have 90-degree angle in front of you. You take the ball here, you place it here, and now you're leaning forward against the wall. And you can move it down, get it right onto the muscles, the pectoralis muscles here. A really wonderful way to massage these tightened up tissues in the muscle and the fascia. And easy to do with an inexpensive ball and a wall that we all have in our homes. If you find that the use of a ball against the wall to massage the back, the neck, to find trigger points, to work on pressure points, is difficult because of limited ability to bend the knee, or simply because you just find it's difficult, maybe not for you, you can use a variety of different devices which are easily purchased. There's a few of them on the market now. I picked this one up at a sporting goods store for $30. It has, as you can see, a hook, and it's got a ball-shaped, elliptical-shaped actually, thing here to find pressure points and to massage. These orange balls are for you to hold, and you take this and place it behind, and you find places on the trapezius, muscles even in the back of the neck, and you can find pressure points and you can massage. So I'll turn around so that you can see this, and you can see how I'm using this to find points in the trapezius, a little bit in the sternocleidomastoid, maybe here. I can even get up into these muscles in the back of the neck, and we can massage. And of course then you'd switch hands and place the opposite hand on the bottom and the opposite hand on the top and do the other side. It's very effective, feels great. Oh, there's a trigger point right there. Trigger points will often refer pain from the spot you are on to another part, usually higher up. Referred pain always travels up. You may find, because of pre-existing conditions with your body, that this is just too darned hard for you and really may be more than you can handle. And I think that's true with a lot of people with underlying conditions, such as fibromyalgia, etc. I've taken this ball and I cut a little elliptical hole in it, and then I gouged out a bit of the soft. This is a very, very soft, squishy ball. Here's one that hasn't been cut. And you can see how soft and squishy. This is what you're going to want to use. Very cheap, easy to pick up at a dollar store. So I made it so that I could fit this into the ball like this. Now this is on here, and you can do this and find those points like I just did without the ball, and you'll find that it's much softer and easier to use. And like I say, if you have limited mobility, if it's difficult for you to bend your knee, or you just find it really too much to use a ball against a wall, then this might be for you.